Everybody, this is Bryan Hogue. Welcome to another week of the Chiller Night Live pre-show. Well, it's been quite a week, hasn't it? So, thanks everybody who's joining us. Let's see how we're doing here. Still figuring out. There's been some changes on the Facebook page for some reason. I'm not sure why. I can't connect to my other pages, but we'll just I'm figuring this out as we go. But anyways, I want to thank Stream TV, again, Stream TV for every week, every Saturday night, for giving me a platform on which to show my programming, Chiller Night Programming, Chiller Night Live, hosted by Jack Shadow, and Chiller Chat, the talk show that talk about horror, paranormal, science fiction, and and also, of course, I want to thank Vicelli Pizza for supporting me and the shows, and Paranormal Warehouse. You can find them at paranormalwarehouse.com, and also Chop Block TV, and you can find them at butchermedia.com. So check out their sites, check out their pages. They support Chiller Night. They play the shows, so check them out and support them as well if you get a chance. So where are we at? Let's see. Oh wow, we got some. Cassandra says, hi everybody. David says, champagne popped and ready for action. Cheers. All right. Raymond's clapping away. Adam says, hi. Hey Adam, thanks for joining us. Hey Raymond. Al says, hi everyone. Corpus says, greetings all. Greetings, Corpus. Ava says, hello everyone. So everyone's exchanging their salutations, and we're happy to have everybody with us today. And let's see. I suppose you're wondering what we're going to be watching tonight. All right, so here we go. Here's our schedule. Tonight at 9 p.m. Jack Shadow features Bride of the Gorilla. That was, of course, the live show that we just did last week. And that is going to be on Stream TV tonight at 9 p.m. for the very first time. And it's edited form. And then at 11 p.m., Chiller Chat. My guest is Donald F. Glute. And at 11:30, Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Attack of the Giant Leeches. That, of course, is a very recent one as well. We just did a couple weeks ago here in March. 1:30 a.m. Chiller Chat. My guest is Phil Wilson. And 2 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Killers from Space. All right. There you have it. So, let's see. Where are we at with these comments? Okay, everyone's saying hello. Hello, everybody. Okay. Now, the Thursday night watch party, I want to thank everybody for showing up for that. That was a fun movie, although I gotta say, I didn't really watch it as much as I more listened to it, because I was working I was working so hard on trying to get everything edited for this weekend, so and sent to Stream TV. So, but Werewolf on Wheels. Where else you gotta see that? But now this Thursday, turn that a little bit. This Thursday's watch party, and if you're new here and you're not real familiar with what we do, every Thursday night on the Chiller Night Facebook group page, Corpus Christine, she hosts a watch party. So, just Chiller Night, not Chiller Night Theater, just Chiller Night group page. Every Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we have a movie. And let's see. And Corpus, whenever you get a chance, if you'd like to announce the movie for this coming week. And while she's doing that, Brad, of course, it's the Chiller Night pre-show with Bryan Hogue, starring Bryan Hogue. And now here's Bryan. What's on tonight, Brad? I'm sorry, you probably sent that before I just read the schedule, so Well, in case you just jumped on here, I'll throw that back up again. 9 p.m. Bride of the Gorilla is going to be the feature episode for tonight, and then 11 p.m. Donald F. Glute. And that guy has a very, very impressive resume. Holy cow, he's worked in so many cool things. TV shows, novels, and so forth. 11:30, Chiller Night Theater, Attack of the Giant Leeches. You can see there. Phil Wilson, of course, he's worked on Creep Show, the movies and the series, the current series, and 2 a.m. Killers from Space. So that's what we are watching. Bob Book says hello. Hello! Hey Bob, thanks for joining us. David says, did you know there is a colorized version on YouTube of the Vincent Price The Last Man on Earth? Looks good in color. I did not know that. Did not know that. That's pretty cool. Corpus says, this Thursday is Child's Play. All right. Cool. I didn't even get to do my drum roll. All right, but that's cool. She's doing that, and I'm back here messing with the schedule. Raymond says, replying to Corpus, Chucky, yes. Bob says, a classic, yes. So hopefully, a good many of you will join us every Thursday night, or particularly this coming Thursday night, to watch Child's Play. Again, on the Chiller Night Facebook group page at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So hop on there, become a member, and watch Child's Play. So, let's see. Terry Murphy says, it's a chiller night indeed. It certainly is. Terry, thanks for joining us. And Corpus says, I'll have to check that out, replying to David about the colorized Last Man on Earth. You know, who was I? I had Samantha on an episode of Chiller Chat. Samantha Diener, who plays Elvon Nock. We were talking about that. We were talking about, movie remakes, and we were talking about colorizing different movies and stuff like that. And there's actually some remakes that I very much enjoy. I think that they're really well done. Most of them I can't say that for, but I happen to like the remake of The Wolfman. When did that come out? 2011, I think, something like that. I very much like that one. Colorized versions of movies. I have a colorized version of Night of the Living Dead. I don't mind that one at all. I gotta say, I mean, it's something kind of creepy and pure and true of watching the black and white classic, but I don't mind watching it in color either. You know, I gotta say, it is kind of cool. Al says Chucky. Terry says hello, everyone, and Brad says yes, yes, yes. And Terry, I don't know if you know me. I don't know if how new you are, but just anybody on YouTube or anybody on YouTube or anybody on Facebook, you guys can only see, like, Facebook can only see Facebook comments, YouTube can only see YouTube comments. So I'll let you know that in case you you're trying to get in touch with somebody. Sometimes somebody will say, "Hey, tell Glam Fangs I said hello." So then I relay that on here. But I wish you could see all of it. You know, I can see it here, but even then, I don't. Apparently, I missed some of the comments, but as they don't show up on my main page. Cassandra said, love the Wolfman remake as well. And Terry said, hi, Glam Fangs. Is she here? I haven't seen her. Glam, if you're here, hello. So, but let's see. But that is going to be the Thursday night watch party. So that's pretty neat. You got a neat selection of movies there on Facebook for these watch parties. That's pretty cool. So last night, by golly, we watched The Devil Bat. We sure did. We watched it with Jack Shadow live here, just like we're doing right now. So I hope you guys, if you joined us for that, I hope you enjoyed that. That was part of my quest. My goal for completing Monster March, I haven't completed it yet, but I'm almost there, folks. Almost there. We're getting there. what have you guys been thinking about the live shows on Friday nights? I've been doing them so far. Last month we did Silent Night, Bloody Night, and then this month we did Attack of the Giant Leeches. We did Bride of the Gorilla, The Devil Bat, and then next week it'll be Indestructible Man with Lon Chaney Jr. So I hope you guys are entertained by this. I hope you guys are enjoying this. You know, it's fun. It's quite a bit to keep up with, but you know what I found out for the last couple of weeks, the settings on Restream were set so that you can't watch the show after I stop streaming, which I'm sure is what prevented some of you from sharing it. Now, here's what I'll say. This coming Friday for the Indestructible Man program, if you guys, if you want to help out, and I've heard some people jump on here this week, which I'm very appreciative of Dale and some of you others, Adam. You know, if you want to help out, thank you so much. The biggest thing I need right now is for when those Friday Night Frights are playing, if you could just share it. Share that video. Share it, preferably when it's live. So other people can, like, you know, it's kind of a little noise over here, makes people look. Oh, this is live? Well, it sure is. So if you could do that and help me out, help me get those, help me get it out there. I think right now it would be a good time for people to kind of, you know, get their mind off of a lot of anxious things going on in the world right now. So, you know, if you can help somebody get their mind off of things for an hour and a half or so, all the better. It helps me. I don't know if it helps you, but you know, I could certainly use it as well. And let's see. Bob says the remake of It was pretty good. Oh, always wanted to see a remake of Salem's Lot. That'd be kind of neat. Staying a little closer to the book, although the original was terrifying. I remember watching that as a kid. I was just, especially the part with the kid floating outside the window, scratching on the window. Holy cow, that was major scary to me as a kid. Raymond says, always enjoy Lugosi. Yes, I'm glad you were there last night for the Devil Bat. Alice says, Monster March. Yes. Corpus says it was a lot of fun. I was sharing it, but it made it a watch party, so I had to keep jumping back and forth to read the comments. You know, I think I didn't realize this. I didn't realize this till last night because the first week, a week ago, I thought it was just a fluke. You know, I thought, okay, it didn't share. I can't share it for some reason. Even in here, the way it's set up right now, I can't share it to my other pages like I normally do. So I'm thinking, okay, there must be something a little different with the settings. That happens. And then last night, the same thing happened. Well, I noticed people sharing other horror hosts, but I don't see them sharing Jack Shadow. So I'm thinking, well, I wonder what's up with that. So I'm thinking that, you know, it was the restream setting. I went in this morning, and we'll know at the end of this show, because if you see this show still available to watch on Facebook, that means that it's been corrected. And so it should be ready to be shared for next Friday. And that's all I'm asking. You know, if you guys could help share that. You know, there are some hosts that might get shared that have a couple thousand views, where mine only has a couple hundred, you know. So I'm asking, if you enjoy watching the Jack Shadow Friday Night Frights or Chiller Night Theater just in general, if you could share it, that's my biggest, that's what I need the most of, you know, just exposure, getting it out there. That would really help. That would really help, you know. So appreciate it. Let's see. Brad said it's something to escape from the coronas. Yes, yeah. Yeah, we have been bombarded with that all week. It's nice to take a break and, you know, watch the big dumb fun movie monsters. You know, that's how I like to think of it. Terry says, "Hi, Brian. Let the chiller night begin." Yes, we gather together for chiller night tonight. Hey, Emmanuel says, sorry I missed the Thursday show. I somehow had a brain freeze and thought it was Friday. Well, on the bright side, I'll watch it and enjoy it sometime when I need a pick-me-up. And then David says, the screenwriter of Child's Play was inspired by the Twilight Zone episode Living Doll and Trilogy of Terror. Pretty cool. I did not know that. That's pretty neat. That makes sense, though. Dale says, I'll share as much as I can, Brian. I don't want to see this die. I grew up with Elvira, then watched Wolfman, Max, Chiller Drive-In, and some others in between. But you have had your heart into it, and we all appreciate what you've done for the horror community. Thank you, Dale. And that's, I mentioned to you a little about a minute ago or so, because you were one of them who, and I've had several people. That's why I love seeing that. You guys have really been jumping in here, and I can tell that you're eager to help. And down the road, there might be more of a place for that. Right now, while I'm doing these, the live Friday Night Frights, the biggest thing you can do to help, and thank you for asking, and for all you guys who have been coming to me this week, but that's the biggest thing I need right now is just to share. And I think it was my fault. I'm just giving I'm just gonna, I didn't have the settings to where it was, you were able to share it, I don't think. But like I said, after tonight, if you can get back on here after we end the pre-show and you're still able to view it on Facebook, then problem solved. And then it will be set for Friday. So fingers crossed. All right. So Dale says, oh, I just read that one. Thank you, Dale. Al says there was a remake of Salem's Lot in the 90s. I thought there was a remake, or at least I think there might have even been a sequel to that, Return to Salem's Lot, as well. But I think they did have a remake as well. I've never seen that. I've never seen either one of those, so I've just seen the original. Craig White says hi. Hey, Craig, thanks for joining us. And Brad says, Brad Dorff, who is the voice of Chucky, does a fantastic job. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right, but of course I know the actor, and he does do a good job in basically anything he's in. So he does a really good job. And then Mark Hamill's doing of course, the remake. We mentioned remakes. He's doing the voice of Chucky now for these newer ones. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Let's see. Friday Night Frights. Oh yeah. So don't forget, this coming Friday night, 8 p.m.
Join me, Jack Shadow, for my Friday Night Frights on March 27th as I feature Indestructible Man. Watch a live episode of Chiller Night Theater, interact with me and with other viewers during the show. Watch Jack Shadow's Friday Night Frights on the Chiller Night Theater Facebook page or the Chiller Night Theater YouTube channel. Friday, March 27th, it's Indestructible Man. All part of Monster March, a live episode every Friday night. Don't miss it.
Brought to you by Vicelli Pizza, Butler, PA, and Grossfest.
Well, there you have it. Lon Chaney Jr. in Indestructible Man. So, all right. You don't want to miss it, folks. Harry says, late but here. Hey, Harry, thanks for joining us. Corpus says, replying to Al, I've still never seen that. Yeah, I've never seen that either, the remake of Salem's Lot. Al says the remake of Salem's Lot was not very good. Oh, okay. Adam says, nice, never seen it before. Brad says, The Rise of Skywalker is coming to Blu-ray, Brian. Are you planning on buying it, Brian? I'm not going to, I'm a very, very stubborn person. I'm I'm a nice guy, but I'll tell you what, I base a lot of things on principle, and when this is my mere opinion, subjective, not objective, but after The Last Jedi, I will not give them one penny. I won't give them one penny toward anything related to the Skywalker saga. I won't do it. However, still the diehard Star Wars fan that I am, I'm very excited about. Now, how about this? How about this? What do you guys think? I don't know if you heard about this. This was out. Several articles were out about Rosario. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Rosario Dawson is cast as Ahsoka Tano for The Mandalorian Season 2, which obviously means that she will be on it. I mean, apparently. But I mean, that is. I just think that is so cool because now I'm a big fan of I was a big fan of The Mandalorian. I loved what they did there. That's what I think that's what you get when you actually get a fan and someone knowledgeable about Star Wars writing a story, and that's what can be done. And that was really cool. But I never watched. I mentioned this like a week ago. I'll do it real quick. I never watched the Clone Wars before, but I knew enough about from some of the things I saw on YouTube and other people chatting that there were a lot of references to, not a lot, but there were several references to the Clone Wars. And I thought, aha, I'm going to be up on all this for when season 2 comes. So I started watching the Clone Wars. Never had any interest at all in the animated show, the Clone Wars. I just thought it was too like a little kid show. But when I started watching it, there are episodes that are clearly geared toward a younger audience, but there are some very, very, very well done stories, and they're all canon, consider the official storyline. So I thought, okay, which I didn't know that, but now I want to be all prepared for when the season 2 comes on. And one of my favorite characters, I get a couple characters that I just really, really like in that storyline, and that is Ahsoka Tano and Rex, Captain Rex, the clone shock trooper. So I'm very excited about this. Terry Murphy says old movies are the best when you're locked down. Yeah, that's true, Terry. Make the best of it. And then Adam says, don't like her, but it fits pretty good based on the picture. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen her on the Netflix Marvel shows. I don't know much about her other than that. But hopefully she does a good job. A lot of people wanted the voice actress to play Ahsoka, which is understandable. But there is a difference. So, and I don't know. She might be theatrically trained. She might be an actor. But I know there is a difference in that kind of acting method. So maybe I'm sure that they're doing what they feel is best, because they don't want to screw this up, and so hopefully she does a good job. I'm really looking forward to that. Ava says, can't wait for it. I know, we love The Mandalorian. Bob Book says, Ahsoka is my favorite. She had the only white lightsaber. I know, she has quickly become a favorite of mine. I'll be honest, I knew from the pictures and stuff, I knew there was a character. I didn't even know her name until I started watching the show, and she is very she has definitely become a favorite. So I can't wait to see her in The Mandalorian. Corpus says, I have no opinion on her, but I'm excited to see season 2. Me too. Replying, or the actress or the character, I don't know, but I didn't. Hey, before I started watching this like a couple months ago, I didn't know nothing about the character. So let's see. Bob says only survived Order 66 because she faked her own death. Oh yeah, that's right. They had a novel. They had a book come out that explained how she survived Order 66, or 6. Is it 66? Yeah, 66 when they killed all the Jedi. But I just love that stuff. You guys know me, for the chiller movies, the horror movies, but there is such a big love for the old first. Science fiction, but specifically for Star Wars. I'm a diehard fan. Have been since I I was a 9-year-old kid and went into the theater, the Drake Theater in Oil City in the summer of May, June. Must have been June. I don't think I went in May when it opened up, but I think I was there about the month after that. It was during the summer, I know, of '77, and watched Star Wars. I was hooked, have been ever since. Probably more than I ought to be, but that's why I'm toying around with after kind of after the dust settles with all this, with the virus situation, all that, and it will. Um, this too shall pass, and obviously we have to do what we have to do in the meantime to keep the spike down. But I'm thinking about opening up or starting a Chiller Night sci-fi page, which truth be told, it'll be a lot of Star Wars talk, because I could sit and talk about this. Believe me, just as much as I can with the horror. I really can. I'm a big, huge fan. I get excited. So Ava says the same when talking about Corpus, about the no opinion on her, but excited to see season 2. Brad says, speaking of movies, the movie theater industry is taking it very hard with the coronas. They're just released the latest movies the same day that it's supposed to come out in the theaters. Can the coronas put a final nail in the coffin in the movie theater industry, Brian? It can, as far as the actual traditional way that we've seen movies since their invent. Obviously, those theaters closed down and put people out of work. That you have to wonder, though, is that the way that things are heading? And I don't this now the situation right now, it is opening up doors for certain other things. It's forcing that to happen with the industry. But I really believe after this settles and this passes, this particular situation, the theaters, will be opening up again, because they don't want to shut those down. But I think inevitably it will lead that way. It's like a Blockbuster. That was how you rented your movies. Don't do that anymore, or at least there may be some remnants of video stores open, but it's that's not the direction it's going. So yeah, will it hurt the movie industry? It won't hurt the movie industry necessarily. Once this passes, it could hurt the theater industry. You know what I mean? At least, I mean, I'm not an economist. I'm not anything like that. This is just my opinion. That's the way I see it. Maybe someone's got a different opinion, but that's the way I see it. Corpus is the actress. Okay, getting back to your. Okay, yeah, I don't either. I don't really know her. Hopefully she does a good job. David says, Lon Chaney Jr. asked the director of Indestructible Man not to write any new dialogue changes after lunch, because that was when Lon drank the heaviest. Yeah, he was a heavy drinker, and that certainly didn't help him later on in life. Obviously he had a lot of complications from his alcoholism, and yeah, I know that's sad. It really is, but that's. You're dead on right about that. Brad says, like streaming, Brian. Yeah. I've thought about that. I've thought about that quite a bit this week. Is that the direction they would take? I think once it clears, the situation clears out, I think they're going to really do a lot of reassessing on how they want to distribute the movies, and that's certainly an option. I don't think they want to take away that theater business the way it is right now. This is just like I say, I'm not an economist. I don't have a lot of information or knowledge even about that type of thing. I'm just guessing. I'm just saying, from a layman's point of view, sitting here watching everything unfold, that's kind of the way I see it. But Bob says, I enjoy watching movies from people have no manners or etiquette anymore. I remember bringing that up too a month ago or so when we were talking about this. That's Last movie I went out and had it with the guy who wouldn't shut up after the lights came back up. I remember saying the exact same thing just about a month ago or so. We were chatting about this on one of the pre-shows about theater etiquette and about how so few people. I mean, a lot of people still do, of course, but think about it. It only takes one or two who don't, and a lot of people don't anymore. And I hate to be the old grumpy man sitting there. Those darn kids. But a lot of it are the younger, and I'm not blaming it obviously exclusively on the young people, but a lot of people who are, going into that, they don't have that etiquette awareness in around them. They're checking their phones, they're lighting up a good portion of space around them and stuff like that, and not just young people, but I hear you. I know what you mean because I've had the same thing happen. Just shut up. How much does it take to take a family out? You're 50, $60. You're buying the tickets, you're buying the popcorn. That's why, in that regards, that's a tough thing to go there, spend that much money. Not only that, but a lot of times you might, if it's a sequel situation, you might be waiting 2 or 3 years to see that movie, and you're all excited, and lo and behold, 3 rows up, you got some idiot, who just can't shut up, or he's talking during the movie or whatever. So it's a shame, but I guess that's where we're at, So, let's see, where are we at here? Brad says I'm talking about the movie theater industry. Yeah, down the road, it's going to have to. I think it's inevitable that it does change it. Adam says, what inspired Jack Shadow? Is there a backstory? As far as the character, I'll say it. I'll spend a couple minutes on this. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of funny in a way because I was doing a haunted house. That's where the character came from. Is when I was doing I do haunted houses as well, and I had my very first haunted house I did. I started putting everything up, the building and buying things in 2005. It actually opened up in 2006, and we were having actor meetings as soon as March, as early as March of 2006. Like, imagine right now having actor meetings for October. There was an individual, it was actually a female, who wanted to be the gatekeeper type character, who basically the narrator. Like you would see in the EC comics, like Tales from the Crypt and that first, the storyteller, okay? And she wanted to do that. And I said, okay, now there's going to be a lot of dialogue to this. No problem. Well, it became a problem, because like a week before we were to open up, she said, I can't do this, too much pressure, too much pressure on me. So she backed out, which is fine. I mean, I'd rather have her do that than if she didn't think she could do it. But the only problem with that is, I'm running the haunted house, or at least in part, because I was co-partnered with somebody at that time. And so now it put me in the position, because I wrote the dialogue, now I had to memorize the dialogue. And it was like a 3-minute speech at that time. It originally was. So I was like, oh, geez, now what? So I went out and collected this, the costuming for it. And I didn't have time to make my own mask yet. Then in the earlier years, it was a store-bought mask. And it was only until later when I actually custom made my own, because I didn't realize at that time that that character would be reoccurring. So I just throwing stuff together, and then I found myself more and more becoming very, very interested in that character, because it was a learning experience for me. I didn't expect this to happen. I'll give you some example. People would be coming in, and of course I'd be doing the spiel, setting the atmosphere, which I'm very, very, very big on. And the interacting with the people was incredible. Now it's a different Jack Shadow that's on the show than you see in the haunted house for the most part. And that's what people who were watching the show locally the next year, and it would come to the haunted house. I remember one girl yell, "You're different here. You're scarier. You're meaner," or something. I don't know if she said meaner, but there was a difference, you know, because and as a horror host, there's more of a comedic flair to that. But in the haunted house, there was more of a creepy element to it, and so that's what started Jack's Shadow. And then it was 2 years later. It wasn't until 2 years later in 2008, in May, that we started doing the horror show, the hosted horror show. So, and again, okay, I wasn't supposed to be Jack Shadow in the haunted house. That wasn't supposed to happen. The hosted horror show, I wasn't supposed to be the host. It was going to be somebody else. It was only the TV station at that time. It's a different one than I'm going through now. Had asked me. It wasn't a condition on whether they would play the show, but they did ask, would you consider, the board got the, they were talking about it, and they said, we were wondering if you would consider Jack Shadow being the host. And and then the other individual was the co-host. We had two of them at the time for years, and it's like, wow, that is so much to put on me, because I wasn't. I could have said no, but I got to thinking, would it be, would it help the show out? I guess the character was becoming popular, and for the first 7 years, we didn't tell anybody who played that character. Even on the credits, you never saw my name associated with Jack Shadow. It was only until, I think, 2015 was the first time that I ever publicly said, yeah, it's me. But for the first 7 years, we never told anybody. I mean, some of the people who worked in the haunted house with me obviously knew, because they would see me getting ready. But so that's kind of how that all started, and it was a lot of fun. So here I am, still dressing up. Let's see. As far as the story of Jack Shadow, like his origin and stuff like that, there is a story, and I'd like to. I was going to bring this up too, because last night's winner for the Devil Bat was John Soto. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, if you're watching, John, but he won the Spirit of Halloween, the Chiller Night Spirit of Halloween book. And it, of course, is of Jack Shadow and these 5 kids who accidentally end up in his realm. And it kind of hints at a past. And I asked the author to do that intentionally, because there is a backstory that I would like to, when the time is right, I'd like to introduce in one of these Chiller Night books. But at this time, it's kind of a, you'll see, but it'll come out. Corpus said movie industry will still be fine. Yeah, the movie industry will. I don't know about the theater. I hope the theater will be as well. Robert says, "Hi, Brian. This is Robert Burkhart. Hey, Robert. Thanks for joining us." Raymond says, at theaters near me, you buy assigned seats. You can't sit anywhere. I hate it. Is that right? Wow, that is different. Wow, it's interesting. Corpus says, I still love going to the theater, but it's expensive for sure. Don't have too many problems with other people. When I say there's someone who was super rude, though. Yeah, there's always that one. That one can ruin it for the whole theater. Ava says to Raymond, so are they different prices also? That's a good question. Yeah, is it a different price for the tickets? That's so weird. Okay, I'm gonna shoot ahead a little bit though, just so I can catch up. I'm missing a lot of these, and I apologize. but if I read all of them, I'm not gonna get to the ones that you guys are just now writing, and we only got 20 minutes left. So, wow, this is great. Thank you so much for the all the participation. Brian says, I do like eating popcorn and drinks soda pop in the movie theaters. That is a good, yeah, it's all part of that theater experience. I do like that too. Um, let's see. David says, the Devil Bat made money for Poverty Row Studios, PRC. So they did a sequel called The Devil Bat's Daughter and a remake called The Flying Serpent. That's interesting. I think I saw that you commenting on that last night. That's pretty neat. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Harry says, replying to Corpus, just like a concert or sporting event ticket. Okay. Ava says, I was wondering about that too, Tom. That's interesting. I didn't know that. We don't have any theaters around here that I'm aware of that they do that. Raymond says, no, they show you a seating chart with seats available to purchase. Think of buying a ticket to a play. Oh, that's cool. Ava says, Brian, can you see Tom? No, I didn't even know he was here. He is not. Nope. Hold on. Nope, I don't see Tom at all. Tom, if you're on here, I cannot see you. I can't see you. You're not on my scroll. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tom, if you're on there. I don't see one comment of yours, which is weird. I have nothing. I got no answer for that. Corpus. Oh, you guys are talking about the seating in the movie theater. That is neat. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you. Corpus says you just order ahead online. Oh, Ava says, "Oh no, Silent Tom." Yeah, we've gone from Silent Bob to Silent Tom. Are you on Facebook? I imagine you would have to be if they could see you here. Tom is the invisible man, David says. Yeah, I guess so. Tom, I can't see you. Is Tom, can people see Tom? Do we have a Tom Paisley sighting? So, I don't know. Hey, I wanted to mention something. I don't know how many of you guys, Dale says Tom's in quarantine. Yeah, I guess so. Oh no. Tom. Hey, tomorrow, I don't know if you guys follow The Walking Dead still. I know a lot of people, they kind of, like when the Negan storyline came in, I thought, wow, this is really kind of intense. But I think it just carried on a little too long, in my opinion. I still watch it. Well, that's still our Sunday night thing. I'm hoping that I hope that they had kind of learned from that, and without giving any spoilers, it looks like they might have, from what I saw last week. No spoilers, but one of the things I wanted to bring up, though, in saying all this is Michonne. The actress who plays Michonne, tomorrow night is her last episode for The Walking Dead. Denai Guerra. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right. I can never say it right. But Denai is leaving the show. So my guess is this is going to be just like when Andrew Lincoln left. I don't see them, because Rick, Michonne, Daryl, and Carol, those were my Fantastic Four of the show. And Rick left the show. Okay. If Michonne leaves, she was one of my favorites on there. So if Michonne leaves, the only way that would be cool to me is if she goes off and she ends up on the Rick Grimes movie, and then we probably do full circle, come back to The Walking Dead. I'm assuming, and maybe that's too much to assume, but I'm kind of figuring that's where they would go with this. I mean, that's too big of a character, too cool of a character to kill off, in my opinion, because it's a unfinished story arc. She'd have to go. They have a kid together. They have RJ together. So I would imagine you'd have to see that setup and payoff with Michonne finding Rick again. You know, that's my. What do you guys think? Or are you interested? Maybe you're not. I don't know. But I sure am. I enjoy the show. Ava and I are still fans of the show. Um, Corpus says, "You sure that's why? What? LOL. I'm a bit lost in this convo. You don't like being able to choose your seat ahead of time?" Oh, you guys are talking about the theater seats. Buying tickets online. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any insight on that for sure because I never even knew theaters did that. So I'm kind of really out of the loop on theaters that operate like that. Um, Cassandra says, "No, I love her on The Walking Dead." Brad says, "No." Um, Corpus says, "Oh, okay, gotcha. Don't like buying online." Oh, okay. On the method on which you have done this to purchase the tickets for those special seatings. Apparently, Restream says, "Congratulations, you received 100 messages." Okay, so we're doing pretty good here. Ava says, "It's still our Sunday night, though." I know, I know. It's Raymond says, "So romantic." Yes, watching the zombie apocalypse every Sunday night. And Corpus says, "Hey, Terrence. Terrence, are you here?" I don't see. I don't see Terrence on here, unless he just popped in there and hasn't said anything yet. But you guys would see him, like who's popping on the watch. But I don't see that. I can only see comments. And Cassandra says, "Norman Reedus said he wants to be on the show to the end, or he was going to burn the set down." They gotta have Daryl. Daryl's gotta last. Corpus says, "I haven't followed The Walking Dead in quite a while now." Well, if you, I like what they're doing right now. I think it's pretty cool. It's not. It's not. Now, when I say this, I don't read the comics. I never have. I'm only. I follow certain channels on YouTube. That's how I know some of this stuff, and I know that certain aspects of it. They're certainly following generally the comic storyline. So I kind of had an idea on some of the things that they would do, but I'm happy to see that they're not dragging this one on longer than it needs to in some ways. Um, Brad says, "It's fun being here on Chiller Night Pre-Show every Saturday." Oh, thank you, Brad. I appreciate it. I have fun as well. I look forward to this. This is like our little chiller community, at least in here. I get to see what you guys are up to and what your ideas are, and I very much appreciate that and look forward to that. And that kind of motivates me. And this week has been a good motivating week for me as well. With some of you are jumping in to say, "Hey, what can we do to help? We want to see this." Last couple of weeks, actually, not just this week, but last couple of weeks, I've really been getting a lot of people wanting to help. And thank you so much. And like I said, down the road, there might actually be more specific things that you can do to help if you know still doing the show, and I'm sure I will be. But the big thing is right now is just when I have those live shows, for example, if you could just share, that helps me tremendously. Because if I don't get my numbers up to a certain, if I don't reach a certain comfortable level, well, I want to think positive about all this, about everything right now. Um, but I do have to ask, if I'm only, that would help me. I'll just put that would really help me, and seeing this the numbers blossom. Right now, who knows? Who knows if this is normal? The viewing. A lot of people are sitting in, but they're probably, this is probably just thousands of other options of things to watch. So if I know some of you are sharing this to those specifically who did probably grow up watching the chiller movies and stuff like that. And for that, I thank you, because maybe they would never hear about this show if it weren't for you. So I appreciate that. Let's see. I like One screen for the room here. Corpus says like one screen for the room here and another to switch over to. Corpus says, Terrence, I see you are sharing the stream. Ah, cool. Is it sharing as a watch party for you where it has a separate comment screen? It might not be. It might, but it might not be because of the way I set it today through Restream. But that's on Restreams, and I don't know how Facebook does it. Because when I'm here, unfortunately, like when I'm here and I'm doing the show, I'm so afraid to be jumping back and forth to like Facebook and YouTube. I'm so afraid I'm going to get knocked off of here. Oh, now look here. I jumped on Facebook, and now I can see Tom. 2015, Jack came out of the closet. that had to be the one thing that I read. Thanks, Tom. But when I jump over here, I can see, okay, I can see Tom on this page, but I can't stay on this page. Otherwise, I won't be able to see the collective chatting and the comments by YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So I got to jump back over here. Yeah, I don't know why you're not showing up on this page, though. Let's see. Raymond says, for the first 5 years, I wouldn't miss it. I also enjoyed the Talking Dead afterwards. Yeah, I know. That's part of our weekly tradition too. And even that, sadly enough, has been affected, of course, by all this craziness. And of course, they've shut that down temporarily for now as well. So it is. I know we're all just anxious for things to get back to where they used to be. Brad says it's amazing how Daryl got as far as he did on The Walking Dead. I know, boy, that character's really evolved, you know. I like seeing that. I like to see a character grow and develop. Ava says, I almost lost interest when Negan was in charge, but now I really like him. Yeah, as much as oh my gosh, that episode with him and, I get about 7 minutes left. Wow, you know, introducing that character, and then to see how he is now. Talk about a character arc. You know, if this plays out the way it looks like it's going, it's like wow, that's big character development there. It's interesting. I actually thought back in the earlier years with him that's the way they were going to go with that because he was such a cool character. I didn't think they would want to be getting rid of him anytime soon. So David says second glass of champagne. Cheers. All right, cheers. Ava says I'm not sure, Tom. I think slightly. And I can't see Tom. Corpus says Tom wants to know if your numbers were up. No, they weren't last night. We had about, and I don't care, I don't mind saying this stuff because we're all in this together. So my numbers I think were like 350 or 320 or something like that. But I think one of the things that hurt, now that was on Facebook. On YouTube, I don't know what it is. I can't look at it right now, but I think it might have been 20 something on YouTube. The thing that hurt was after the fact, when that's normally where I get a lot of those views, but the way it was set up in Restream, once the streaming stopped, and I will know here in just like 3 minutes whether this is set correctly. The last 2 weeks, it was set so that when I stopped streaming, it stopped. It took it off of Facebook. So I had to download it off of YouTube and put it on later to watch again. People wanted to watch it. Well, that's a bad way to do it. Obviously, that's not good. That didn't help me. It didn't help the numbers. But now, if this is on here and it's on here right, jeez, give me a technical issue and I'll make sure it's screwed up somehow. but hopefully it's back to normal where you'll see the views. You can watch this after I stop streaming, and that's the way it wasn't set up for the last 2 weeks for the Friday Night Fright. So that really hurt my numbers. So we'll see. But don't forget, the next time I see you guys will be, well, I won't look like this. Let's put it that way. I'll be slipping into something more uncomfortable. Let's see. David says Jack Shadow should do Talking Dead by himself. Yeah. Let's see. Harry says 5 minutes till curtain time. Popcorn check. Beer check. Roku remote check. All right, you're all set. You're all set. And don't forget, let me throw this up again. Just to remind folks, at 9 p.m., just a few minutes, just a few, at 9 p.m., Chiller Night Theater, the movie is Bride of the Gorilla. 11 p.m., Chiller Chat, my guest is Donald F. Glute. 11:30, who wrote the novelized version of Empire Strikes Back, by the way. Thought I'd throw that in there. Being the Star Wars fan I am. 11:30, Chiller Night Theater, Attack of the Giant Leeches. 1:30 a.m., Chiller Chat. My guest is Phil Wilson. 2 a.m., Chiller Night Theater, Killers from Space. So, very cool. Corpus says, movie time, guys. See you on the other side. Thank you for joining us tonight, Corpus. And Raymond says, on YouTube, I can't float thumbs up and happy faces. Right. Yeah. All right. Ava says, see you, everyone. Amanda says, hi. Hey, Amanda. Thanks for joining us. We are actually closing up shop right now. So hopefully we'll this program will still be available to watch on Facebook after I pull the plug and stop streaming. We will see. I think we are okay, though. So, folks, I hope to see you on Friday night on the 27th for Jack Shadow's Friday Night Frights featuring Indestructible Man. So, everybody take care of each other and have a good night. Have a good chiller night. We'll see you next week.